Hey, hi, I'm back with my TBR game for July. I'm just going to re-explain it for a refresher here. So it's based off the TV show Supernatural. I actually just picked this book up at the thrift store. So at the beginning of each game, I pick a black card, which represents a villain, and that represents a challenge that all the books in the game must meet. So for example, I'll just pull off the top card, and that's the card we'll go with. So this is Demon Dean, and that means only books that I own, which isn't too much of a challenge anymore. I've kind of stopped going to the library because I haven't been reading the books that I've been getting out of the library. So yeah, but I'll stick with it. That's an easy challenge for July. And then the red cards are character cards. So each character has a prompt to pick a book that kind of relates to the character. The purple cards used to represent library books, but they're just going to be my own books. If I feel like going to the library, I might use them, but yeah, I haven't been feeling the library lately. And that's nothing against libraries, it's just something to do with my own reading and the pressure of having a time on the books at the library, and then not feeling guilty about not reading what books I own myself. So these are creatures that they encounter throughout Supernatural, and the prompts kind of correlate to the creature. And then lastly there's props, which are the blue cards down here, and there are different props throughout the Supernatural TV show, such as you know, the Colt, the flannel that they wear. It's just different objects that have significance in the TV show. So yeah, that's it. I just roll one dice until I get to the end of the board. There's no pressure to finish everything. If I don't read anything on it, that's fine. There's no punishments or anything, besides my own guilt at not doing it. But you know, as we've seen from the show, your own demons can be the worst demons that you face. So let's get to it. A 1, of course, and I'm using my Dean figure here. I have Cass and Sam as well. So our first is a character card, and our first character is Eileen, and Eileen is a deaf character, so the author has to be disabled. Put Demon Dean up here. I just finished that season, or I'm currently on season 10 when we get Demon Dean. I'm on my 5th, 6th, 7th rewatch at this point. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So blue, this is the equalizer. See, that's the gun. This is the gun where if you shoot someone, it shoots you in the exact same spot. So it's like equal. And that's a random shelf number generator because it's kind of, I don't know. The prompts don't always match. Okay. 2. 1, 2. Another character card. And this character, ooh, Amara. I haven't come across her in this current rewatch, but she is the sister of God in Supernatural, also known as the Darkness. So that's a random nonfiction because darkness is kind of scary, and nonfictions can be kind of scary, and so you get more used to them. So there's that. And if it says random, I'll generally use a random number generator and go to my spreadsheet where I have all my books that I own listed, and I'll just kind of sort it by non-fiction versus fiction and do a random number generator or something that way. It's gonna take us a while to get through this. 1, 2, 3. If we keep getting these small numbers, it's gonna take us a while. That's okay. Lots of books means more options. Gabriel, the trickster, start a new series because, you know, he wants to trick you into reading more series. I love Gabriel. I just watched the Fans Perspective documentary, and I loved that he was like the food server. I'll link that video down below. It's quite funny if you're a fan. 2. So we get our first creature card, and our creature this time is Shapeshifter, and this is something from multiple perspectives because shapeshifters you know, they can change their perspective. Not really, I guess, but kind of. It makes sense, you know? Multiple people, multiple shapes. Don't look too deep into these prompts. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lots of characters. Oh, Jack. I love Jack. Okay. He's one, I know some people don't like him, but I absolutely adore Jack. So this is continuous series. So I got to start a new series and continue a series. I think I know which book I'm going to use for that, though. Sometimes I have books in mind, sometimes I don't. 1. I think I'm going to have like 50 books on my TBR. Then we got another prop, and this prop is the Demon's Blade, and that's my cat's choice because my cats are little demons. Are you going to... Ed's off screen here. Ed, are you going to help? She's not meeting my eyes. She's like, no. She's a cutie. 3. 1, 2, 3. Another prop. The Angel Tablet. This is an intimidating book. I got this prompt last month as well. But we'll keep it. I went off screen, but that's a 6, and I'm going to take it because I'm going slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we got a flannel, random genre generator. I'm not sure these ones were very well shuffled because I'm getting a lot of the same ones that I had before. So I'm just going to shuffle them again. I'm actually going to put this one on the bottom. You know what? I'm going to put this one too and I'll just pick 2 new cards. I can do that. It's my game. I make the rules. I'm the god in this game. So we got Anti-Possession Tattoo, which is the prettiest cover on the shelf because it's a tattoo and it's pretty. Oh, and Pie, which is a mood read because sometimes you're in the mood to eat pie. Something a little sweet, something nice. Okay. Finally we're getting different ones. I don't think I shuffled that pack very well. Another 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Got another character. Our character this time is John, and that is to read a classic. It's pretty cool. That's a 2. 1, 2. And my brother are beside each other. Just gonna move them so I don't knock them over. We are on a creature. Our creature this time is the Djinn. So this is on my most want to read list. I don't know if I still have that list, but I'll just choose a book I really want to read. 3. 1, 2, 3. Another creature. I like this. I don't often get a lot of creatures, I find. Werewolf is a translated book because werewolves can be 2 different things, and so 2 different languages. That's why that prompt made sense to me. We're almost there. And I'm going to re-roll that one because it went off camera. It was only a 1. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. What character do we have this time? Donna! Oh, I love Donna. She's a female author. I love Donna. And if you ever see her, like, out of character, like, just the actress, like, I saw a picture of her, I was like, that's not Donna. Doesn't look like her, but wow. 3. 1, 2, 3. Another character. We're getting the whole cast here. Oh, we got Ash. And that's a free choice. I always like getting Ash. I like getting free choice because Ash is all about being free and doing whatever you want, and so he's cool. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another creature. Ooh, hellhounds. This is an animal on the cover. That'll be cool. And we're almost done. Let's see if we can finish the game here because I got a whole lot of books. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're done. Let's see how many prompts I have to go through here. I think this is like the most I've ever had in a game. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. No, actually that's pretty average. Okay. So I'm gonna go pick my books and I'll come back in a second for you, but in probably an hour or so for me to try and find all my books. So I have my 3 books here, and you can see half a cat there. She doesn't like treats. She's just hanging out. But I'm trying to get my other cat who does like treats. Here he comes. So I have these 3 books. Dark Money by Jane Mayer. The Edge of Everyday by Maren Sardi, and Of Grammatology by Jack Derrida. Rick, come get treats! Oh, what do you see there? Look. What treats do you want? Look here. 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 You gonna eat those? Okay, so she chose dark money, is what we're saying. I never thought that'd be so difficult. Thank you, Yuna. Hi, BookTube. So I'm experimenting with some new angles here. So bear with me while I figure this out. So you just saw the gameplay of my July TBR, and I'm here to show you my selections. As always, I do have to say that it doesn't actually follow the gameplay, because once I get the cards I just kind of go through and pick out certain ones first so I can figure out what I can get for, you know, mood reads or other things like that. So yeah, that's where we are. I got my cards here, my books over here, and my notes here, and all that jazz. Okay, so I got Demon Dean, so that's only owned books, and that's because I like Demon Dean and I like my own books. I just finished season... Did I finish season 10? Yeah, I just finished season 9 and 10 quite quickly. I was binging Supernatural, where we get to encounter Demon Dean. Okay, and it is incredibly warm right now, so you're going to hear the dehumidifier. I turned the fan off because it was just a little too much noise, but I can't turn off the dehumidifier because it is very humid in the back room. So I apologize for the noise, but live with it. Okay, so first card I have here is the Demon Blade, and this is a cat's choice because cats have sharp claws like the blade. I don't know, I come up with some weird reasons. And I had a bit of difficulty with it, with cats, but eventually I figured it out. Okay, and the first book is going to be Dark Money by Jane Mayer, subtitled The Hidden History of the Billionaires Behind the Rise of the Radical Right. I think that, you know, captures the synopsis pretty well. So it's how the right wing in America has been misled by the elite. So my fingers are burned, so it's hard to turn pages. I'm just going to do this a little awkwardly. It's from 2016, so it's, you know, it's not that dated. Yeah, so that'll be interesting to get more information about that. Okay, next card was Ash, and because Ash is such a cool guy, it's free choice. And for that I chose, sorry, my hand is sore. The Second Rebel by Lyndon A. Lewis. This is the second book in the First Sister trilogy. The first book is called The First Sister. I don't know what the third book is called, but I'm sure it's going to be the third something. And this is a really cool series. The first book we follow, I guess you can call her a concubine, would be like the closest equivalent to what she actually is. It's a woman whose job is to provide confession and sexual favors to the crew of a spaceship. And then we follow a soldier and his partner who have to decide whether to keep fighting for the status quo or to join a rebellion. Yeah, and I enjoyed the first book enough to get the second book. Oh, there is some maybe Japanese in there? Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Then the next character was Donna. Because Donna is such an amazing female character, it has to be a female author. And for that I chose Fantasia, an Algerian Cavalcade by Assia Jabbar, and you've seen this before on TBRs, and I still haven't read it, but I really, really want to. This is the history of Algeria mixed in with the story of a young girl striving to break the bonds of law and tradition. It's about the fight for independence, both Algeria from France and women from oppression. And I like that this book is pre-annotated. I know some people don't like that, but I do. Seeing what other people think is important. So yeah, there's that book. Then we have John, and because he's like the original hunter in the series, it has to be a classic. And I'm going to continue on with Ulysses. It's over here underneath a bunch of stuff, my note-taking stuff. So yeah, I'm going to continue with Ulysses for that. Then I got Jack here, and because Jack is like the third brother in a way, or the fourth brother if you consider Cass a brother, he's like another continuation of the Winchester family, you know, because family don't end with blood. So this is to continue a series. And I'm also going to continue a book, and that is The Bone Hunters. I picked this up in, it might have been January at this point, and I need to continue on with it. This is the 6th book in the Malazan series. It's an epic fantasy. We return in this book to characters from the first book, and we follow a big battle, but the war is not over, obviously, because it's only book 6. And we do get more of the gods in this book so far, which is pretty cool, because they're no longer just kind of background characters. They weren't really 100% background characters, but like in this one it's more obvious, the gods interfering in mundane matters. Okay, then we got another thing about series, Gabriel, and because he's the trickster god, I have to start a new series. And yeah, so I decided to go with this book, The Dry, which is the first book in the Aaron Falk series, which is a mystery detective series. And this takes place in Australia, which I think is pretty cool. It's a crime drama about a murdered family and a detective returning to his hometown, which sounds kind of typical, but this has won lots of awards, so I don't know how like stereotypical it's going to be. And then I got Amara, and I'm just on her season now, in Supernatural. I'm rewatching it for like the 20th time. That's a bit of an exaggeration. I haven't watched it all 20 times, but you know, watched it enough. And so, because Amara is quite random, you never know what you're going to get from her. She's like a wild card, but she's also a creator. So it's going to be a nonfiction, and it's going to be a random nonfiction. And I'm going to admit I had a different book picked out for this, and I didn't want to read it, because I did a random number generator, and I was just like, no, I just walked to my shelf and picked up a random book. So yeah, I feel like that's something Amara would do, is just randomly pick up a book that she actually wants. So this is Indian Summer by Alex von Tunselman. The Secret History of the End of an Empire. This is about the lead up to and the fallout of the partition in India, of the British pulling out in the 1940s and saying, hey, now you're two different countries, have at it. I've read a lot about the partition in fiction, and so this will be like my first nonfiction about the partition. Okay, then I got Eileen, and Eileen is a deaf character, so I have to pick out a disabled author, and for that I got Eden Robinson's Trickster Drift. I can't hold the book properly with this hand, sorry. And Eden Robinson has, I have to look it up because it is a big long name, polymyalgia rheumatica, which is a muscle disorder. Yeah, so this is also, I'm reading a lot of series. So this is the second book in the, I think it's called the Trickster series. The first one was Son of a Trickster. And yeah, that was about a troubled indigenous teenager with a heart of gold who encounters some unexpected magic. Yeah, it's really heartwarming, interesting ideas and interesting forms of magic. Yeah, I really enjoyed that, so I'm looking forward to continuing on. And then we got Pi, and because Pi is the best, it's a mood read, because those are always the best. And I've been in the mood for a lot of science fiction lately. Or not science fiction, non-fiction. And this is non-fiction science, which is why I said science fiction. And so this is The Planets by Dava Sobel. This is also a really beautiful book. Let's see underneath I love galaxy print and space print and all kind of cool stuff like that. So yeah, this is about the origins and oddities of the planets through the lens of popular culture. She talks about astrology, mythology, science fiction, art, music, poetry, biography, history, all about like each planet. So that sounds really cool. Yeah. There's no pictures though. It's the one drawback of the book. No pictures. Okay, and then talking about pretty books, we got the Anti-Possession Tattoo, and because tattoos are pretty and they're something you put on your skin, which is like a cover, I decided to go with the prettiest cover. And this one actually, like, I know last time, oh no, it was Ugly Cover that I kind of played with. This is McSweeney's 23, which is, I think it's technically a reading journal. And the reason it's so pretty is not because of the inside cover, but because of this dust jacket, which my fingers are so sore. Okay, unfolds into this poster thing where each kind of circle thing is the cover of the books, and then on the back, I think it's, how many stories is it? We get 12 short stories by Dave Eggers on here. So that's like really cool. And now can I fold this again? That's always the question. It's like a giant map. There we go. So that's what makes the cover pretty. Now what is the book actually about? The book is a series of short stories. There's 10 in here by different authors, and I don't think there's any kind of link between them. Ouch. Can you just go on? There we go. Okay, and this cover is designed by Andrea Does-So. That's how I'm going to pronounce the name. Yeah, so looking forward to reading that. I've been following McSweeney for a while, but that's like the first actual book that I have in my possession. Then I got the Equalizer, and this is a random shelf number generator. And I got the fourth shelf, which would be, you can't really see it, it's this one right here. And the third shelf down from that. The second row, so I did like, because it's double stacked. And book number 14. And that gave me Woman Talking by Miriam Toews, which is fitting because the movie recently came out for this. And this is about a group of Mennonite women who decide to speak up against the sexual violence and oppression in their community. So that'll be interesting. I know Miriam Toews herself is Mennonite, I want to say, or similar. It doesn't give any personal information on the back there. So yeah. Then I got Hellhounds, and that's an animal on the cover because hellhounds are dogs, right? And I went with Brown Girl on the Ring, and if you look, is there any other animals? No. But if you look closely, there's a frog right there. And yes, this has been on many TBRs. I really want to read this book, so I might actually pick it up first. So this has been on my TBR for a long, long time, on my shelves for a long, long time. It's a dystopian classic. The young woman has to turn to ancient cultural practices in order to save her city. Then I got Werewolf, and this is a translated work because werewolves can translate themselves from human to wolf. Makes sense, right? And so I got A Girl Called Eel by Ali Zamir, and this was translated by Anissa Abbas Higgins. And this is another book that's been on my TBR multiple times. It's kind of the theme here. It was translated from the French. Yeah, it's a story told in a single sentence, apparently. Oh yeah, there's no, even at the end of the paragraph, you'll see there, it's not a period, it is a comma. Interesting. Okay, so it's a story told in a single sentence about a girl who sets herself adrift on the sea, living in her memory and trying to delay her death. This sounds really cool. Then I have Jinn, which is a book from my most want to read list, because the Jinn puts you in your dreamland, and in my dreamland I've read all these books that I want to read, and an author I want to read everything from, is how I kind of went with this, is Karen Armstrong. She is a religious historian, and I've read God, a History by her, I think. I've read other books by her, and I really enjoy her writing anyways. So this is a biography of the Bible, so I think it's basically what the title says, about the creation and life of the Bible, its many iterations, its influences, and its influence, so things that have influenced it and the influence it's had on other things, how the Bible changed the world, how the world changed the Bible, all that kind of stuff I'm hoping to get out of it. And the last book, like novel, physical book, is Shapeshifter, so Multiple Perspectives. And this is another book I want to get around to finishing, and I think I can finish it. I'm just over halfway through my reread of The Grey House by Miriam Petrosian, so that's the book I'm going to choose. I've talked about it a bazillion times. It is one of my favorite books. So yeah, I'm going to try and finish that in July is the plan. So then I have my comics, which have been randomized. I'll put pictures here. You'll notice there's no ebook, actually, because I broke my ebook. It will not turn on. So yeah, I don't have any ebooks. But I do have my tablet. I just don't like reading ebooks on the tablet because the screen is too bright. This is like e-ink, which is a lot easier to read, but I don't mind reading comics on the tablet. Don't ask why, it's just the way it is. So my comics this month are Kabuki, Circle of Blood, which is the first volume in the Kabuki series by David Mack. I actually read volume 5 first, and I really enjoyed it. I understood what I thought I was supposed to understand from the book. There were a few times where it's like, I think I'm missing a few pieces here, but then I realized it was volume 5. I'm mostly reading this for the art, which is multimedia. There's watercolor, there's collage, there's some interesting layouts, and it's about a spy for the Japanese government in the near future. You know, I think when the time was written, this date today would probably be the near future, but alas, I do not believe that their predictions have come true. I also want to read Dead Weight, Murder at Camp Bloom by Molly Muldoon. It's a fat camp story featuring a murder. It just looks fun. I just want a fun comic. Then I'm going to read Not All Robots by Mark Russell. So in this world, every family has to have a robot that they're dependent on, and the Walters robot has an interesting hobby, which is making machines that the family are convinced are designed to kill them. Then I want to read God Killer Walk Among Us by Matt Pizzolo, which is a dystopian follow teen boy as he's searching for a new heart for his sister. And this is actually part of a transmedia project, so there's also like a film to watch. And Davey Havoc from AFI is in it, so that's kind of cool. And the last comic is I Really Didn't Think This Through by Beth Evans, and it kind of reminded me of Hyperbole and a Half by Ali Broche, which is a mixture of like writing and then comics about life and that kind of stuff. So that is it for my July TBR. Let me know what you're reading in this upcoming month, and thank you for watching.